Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and our specially invited guests. This meeting of online presenters has begun. Now, guests, please note that in order to be a member of our club, you must be a current or former active Toastmasters International member and completed at least 6 Toastmasters substantial, relevant presentation information experience. You may apply for membership after demonstrating your abilities in a 2 to 3 minute speech delivered during one of our club meetings. Our membership are subject to the approval of our club. We usually rename, but today we're having a special workshop. So I do believe all of our functionaries know their role, but if not, please rename according to your role. And we love knowing who our guests are. So it would be great for you to put guests in front of your name if you are our guest today. Right click, select rename to do so. We have members and guests from countries all over the world. Thus, as a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or word usage that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. Please note, the meeting is being recorded. It's going to go on, get this, YouTube, but other social media as well. Your audio or video contribution may be used for club marketing purposes. Also, everyone, please remain muted during the course of the meeting so that we don't interrupt each other. Please help me to welcome. He was one of the charter members of our club. He is a returning president to Online Presenters who has led us to start doing these workshops. A master of WordPress who has an excellent website to make the Toastmasters experience, especially for the vice president education, a lot easier for signing up for roles. Remember to ask him about it. Please help me welcome our president, David Carr.
Thank you, Joni. So welcome everyone to today's workshop. I'm David Carr. I'm the president of Online Presenters Toastmasters. I was also the founding president when we started back in 2017. So pre-pandemic, it wasn't because of that. It was just because we thought this was an interesting opportunity to practice skills that you needed to know if you were leading webinars or you were leading maybe virtual courses. And we hope you'll come back for one of our regular meetings because those are fabulous too. But we're doing a number of educational events. We also have a webinar contest coming up on July 15th. It's open to members of other clubs. We're actually building up to a championship, a worldwide, galactic-wide championship of the best webinar speakers. And so we hope you'll come back for that. You can find that information about that on our homepage. Our workshop presenters today were actually among the charter members of the club. And they and I have learned a lot from each other over the years. Now, Chris and Jim Guld are the world's foremost experts on YouTube. They're going to teach each of us how we can become rich and famous on YouTube. Okay, maybe I'm overstating that just a little bit, but Chris does hold the title of Google Project Expert, which means Google, which owns YouTube, by the way, if you didn't know, Google sometimes flies her out to events where it's unveiling its latest and greatest product innovations. She's the author of the book, Learn Google Photos, and an expert on all sorts of software for photo and video organization and other things too. Through their business Geeks on Tour, Chris and Jim teach technology for travelers. They do it at in-person events, not as much as they used to, but they spend a lot of time going around to RV meetups. They lived in an RV for several years. They've gotten more into doing virtual events over Zoom, and they reach out through their YouTube channel. They did a weekly live show, What Does This Button Do? It was weekly for a long time. Now it's every other week. It's a little bit more when they feel like it. But each of those live programs gets archived to their YouTube channel, adding to all the recorded tutorial videos that Chris produces. Now, before we dive into their workshop, I have a little bit of distilled wisdom I want to share with you from my own study of how to use YouTube more effectively. How many of you actually have a YouTube channel and it has maybe a few dozen subscribers, a few hundred? I manage or help manage several channels that are in that category. And actually, when I looked at the YouTube channels of some well-known keynote speakers, some of them were not that far ahead of me. I mean, for perspective, not every channel has to have thousands or millions of subscribers. Chris and Jim are at 13,000 for their business, Geeks on Tour. And that's enough that they can start to make some money from YouTube's advertising programs. But there are other ways that you can build YouTube into your business plan. Darren LaCroix, probably the biggest public speaking guru in the Toastmasters world, is at 26,000 subscribers. So about double what Jim and Chris has, but he's also been doing that for a number of years. Now, Mr. Beast is probably the most sensational thing in the YouTube. I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos, but lots of people have. He has 287 million subscribers to his channel. The Online Presenters channel is at 534. Maybe some of you can help us get it to 600. But part of what we're thinking about here is maybe there's something we could do there to get more ambitious, to think about how we package that content to make it go farther for us. So, and again, depending on your business, high subscriber count might not be the ultimate thing. If you are a keynote speaker and you're publishing videos of your speeches that they're basically work samples, you may be sending those out by email. You may be putting them into call for speakers forums more than you are trying to drive people to your YouTube channel. Jim and Chris have a subscription website they'll tell you more about. But whatever ad revenue they get from Google is a bonus on top, not necessarily the most important thing for their business. On the other hand, their YouTube channel is the way new people can discover the Geeks on Tour business and get interested in signing up for the subscription website. So driving engagement is still important. I'm going to share with you a short video that gives you a glimpse of the Geeks on Tour at work. But also some other examples. Example number 2 is Jamie Marsland, a brilliant educator on how to do great stuff with WordPress. I'm going to show you an excerpt from one of his tutorials, but something to watch for is not just the actual tutorial content, which I'm only going to show you a few seconds of, but watch how he works in the sponsor promos into his content. Watch how he calls very clearly, ask for the sale for people to click that like button. And example number 3 is April Alter, who actually studies YouTube itself and how the big YouTubers are successful. There's a chance we'll get her to visit our club as well. She told me to ask her again in July. And those two are at about 52,000 subscribers. So another step up from the Geeks and from Darryl LaCroix. So here's my video compilation.
Hi. Hi, we made it. It is episode number 258 of our show. What does this button do? And it's amazing to me that look at this. Episode 258. 10,000 subscribers. I think that deserves a toast. What do you say, sweetie?
10,000 subscribers.
Now,
wow.
for some people, that's not that big of a deal.
It is for us.
It is for us.
Did you know that by giving to our campaign earlier rather than later, you will have a much greater impact?
How can your phone get an internet connection when you're on the road?
A big thank you to InstaWP for sponsoring this video. InstaWP is a great way to create, test and deploy WordPress websites in just one click. Last week I discovered the most beautiful things that I've ever created on a WordPress website. They're super easy to do. I'm going to show you step by step how to do them. But first, here they are. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, if you can give it a like, that'd be amazing, because it makes a huge difference in terms of how many people get to see this video. It really, really does. So thank you if you can. Also, every time you do hit that like button, our cats get a little treat. If you want to see other examples of what I've just shown you, watch this video. Otherwise, keep well, and I'll see you soon.
Here's how to make a killer YouTube thumbnail to blow up your channel. Because a single thumbnail could be the difference between getting your big break on YouTube and going completely unnoticed. As Mr. Beast is fond of saying,
people don't click, they don't watch.
But how exactly do you get someone to click? What do the top YouTubers know that we don't? To find out, I spent the last 36 days poring over interviews, listening to talks, and analyzing the best performing thumbnails from the top creators in the world. 73 pages of notes later, I discovered that the best YouTube thumbnails follow a 4-part formula. This video will walk you through them all. The first part is the one that's by far the most important, and yet also the most overlooked. If you're watching this video, I don't have to tell you that thumbnails are important. There's a reason why you clicked on this video in the first place. But where most of us go wrong is in the time we dedicate to our thumbnails. You see, the top YouTubers know that YouTube is a game of clicks and watches. The success of a video is determined in part by the effectiveness of the packaging, which drives clicks, and in part by the video itself, which drives watch time. The problem is, most of us spend our time like this. We'll spend countless hours agonizing over scripts, capturing the best shots, and editing our videos to perfection, only to come up with a thumbnail an hour before the video goes live. If that sounds like you, don't worry, you're not alone. It's something I've been working on improving myself. But why would you spend 10% of your time on something that determines 50% of the result?
All right, that's enough of that. And that might be a rerun for some of you. If you might have seen that I posted that on some social media when I was trying to drum up interest here. I'll share links to all that content in the chat, because there's more that you might want to see. Now, the special guest appearance by Kamala Harris was a political ad Google inserted before the beginning of Chris's video, because they're in the monetization program. That means they will make a little bit of money off of how many people watch that video. Whereas in the WordPress workshop, or the WordPress video, there was a promo at the beginning for a WordPress service. There was a promo at the end for Dreamy's cat treats. Those are actually promotions that the author of those videos negotiated directly with the companies and embedded into the actual video. Now, you're supposed to disclose that these are paid promotions, but it was pretty obvious there. And he told me that he's now making more money off of sponsorships and YouTube consulting than he is off his original WordPress business. So it can get to be significant if you do it right. Point being, there's lots of ways to be successful. There's more than one. What I think Jim and Chris can do for us is bring it down to earth by talking about their experience and the practical lessons learned. We've got them scheduled for 30 minutes plus 10 minutes of Q&A. We'll ask you to please keep your mic muted until we get to the Q&A, but you can enter questions into the chat, and I know they'll be watching for that to answer some questions along the way. So join me in welcoming Chris and Jim Guld.
Thank you, David. Uh-oh. You hear an echo?
I'm afraid we do.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's not even hearing us at all
Okay.
now.
That's better. That's
How
better.
about hear us now?
Yep, you're
No?
on.
There we go. Okay. And no echo. All right. And thank you so much, David. And yes, we are going to be bringing it a little bit more down to earth because we are not experts on this, but we do have our story to tell.
Do it this way.
He's working on it. So yes, we are Geeks on Tour. We have been in computer training and technology training and support since the early 80s. And so this YouTube experience has just been kind of a natural progression for our business. First, I want to say hello to fellow Toastmasters. We are Toastmasters. Our home club is Early Bird Toastmasters here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But since the pandemic, we've gone 100% online. So we have members from Spain and Italy and Pennsylvania.
And North Florida.
And North Florida. We have also, as David mentioned, we were original members of online presenters, but just one club is enough for us. So we're sticking to our first club. Anyway, Toastmasters is part of why we do what we do. We like giving presentations, and Toastmasters helps us be better at it. I'm going to be going through a group of slides, and there are a couple of videos, and I just want you to know if you want to review these slides and videos later, they are available on our website, geeksontour.com, and you just go to the classes page. They're all in date order. You'll see this one there. You'll also see the one we did a year ago that we talked more about how our business, not just YouTube. So David gave you a bit of a background, which is great. Then I can make it quick.
Real quick.
In the 80s and 90s, we had a stick and brick computer training center here in Fort Lauderdale. So I was a teacher. I taught people day-long classes. In the 2000s and 2010s, Jim and I decided we wanted adventure, and we sold the business, sold the house, bought an RV, and took to the road, where we ended up we would have audiences anywhere from 200 to 700 live audiences that we presented, how to use your GPS, how to manage all your travel photos, etc. We toured all over the US for 14 years. During that time, we started making videos, tutorial videos, screencast type of videos, how-to videos, and we would put those on DVDs and sell them. Then we made a website and figured out how to create a subscription service where you had to pay to see those videos. So those videos have to be hosted somewhere. They have to be stored somewhere. And most of the services you had to pay for. We still do pay for something called screencast.com. YouTube will host your videos. They do it for free. It's kind of amazing. And years later now, they're actually paying us. Pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we started with YouTube when it was first really available, 2009, and it has become a larger part of our business. So our website is geeksontour.com. We invite you to go there, and you will see a button that says YouTube channel. Now, some of you, I'm pretty sure, are already subscribed to our YouTube channel, but I encourage everybody, if you go there right now to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and then click the little bell for notifications, you will get notified later on in the show tonight when I'm going to demonstrate going live, and it will send a notification to people who have subscribed. So reasons to have a YouTube channel. You know, it's not all about making money. It is about sharing your videos, a place to store and share. It can be just your personal videos. You know, there's this thing called unlisted. So you can upload a video of a wedding or a party or a high school graduation of somebody in your family. And if you make it unlisted, just anybody can't happen upon it. You have to send the link and people will be able to see it. So everybody in your family can see the video and nobody else. And that's free, completely free. But it can also be a place to share your ideas. If you have a passion for something, you know, you're a dog lover or a hiker or a traveler, and you just want to, you have this burning desire to share. You take videos, you put them on YouTube, and who knows, maybe you will strike a chord with a lot of people. And if not, you'll still be sharing with people of like minds. You can also use it to promote an existing business. So if you're a lawyer or an author, you want to share your expertise. You want for people to be able to find your videos and say, oh, I like, know, and trust this person. If I need a lawyer, I'm going to go to that person. So it can be kind of a promotional thing for some other business. Or it can be your business. We know some people who are living on a sailboat and traveling the world, and they get millions of, they're great videographers. You know, you have to be good at making videos. They are great videographers. They have millions of viewers, and they are making a good living. So it supports them as they travel around the world. And now for us, it's a part of our business. You know, it's just kind of evolved. So we are not experts on, if you were going to start a YouTube channel today, how can you build it in a month to make $1 million? I mean, there are some places that say they can teach you that, but not us exactly. So our YouTube channels. Why do we have a YouTube channel?
Because we can. That's the whole reason I wanted to do this. I'm an old geek from a long time ago and into audiovisual stuff, and I love cameras and sound and all that stuff, and it's exciting, it's fun, and we can do it. Now, I have my own YouTube channel at jimgould.com. It's mostly underwater video from our dive trips, and it's from my own personal stuff. I have 71, I think, subscribers. Yeah.
And I have YouTube under just Chris Guld, my personal channel, where I put some family slideshows and videos. A few of them are public, most of them are unlisted. Our main one is youtube.com/@, that's how they write it, Geeks on Tour. And that is a brand account. So both Jim and I manage that channel, that brand account channel. And on there, as I say, it started out just as a place to store the videos that we embedded on our website. But it has, since we've been doing it since 2009 now, it has hundreds of my little tutorial videos, 5 to 10 minutes each, but also live streaming podcasts. Now, we're accustomed to doing live presentations. We did it back in the 80s and 90s with a computer training school. Then we went out on the road and we had audiences at RV rallies. Now we can do pretty much the same thing using YouTube. And
It's starting to make some money.
It's starting to make money. I mean, yeah.
Hey,
we just broke $1,000 for the month, for the first time this month, and it's still growing.
and
so
yeah.
it gets a kind of a momentum, and we will definitely talk more about that. We also have a brand account called Learn Google Photos, because I wrote a book called Learn Google Photos. We figured, oh, we should have a special channel just for that.
No.
I think it was a mistake. It took our efforts away from our main channel, because you cannot aggregate, the views from multiple channels. So anyway, it's still there.
Now, it's kind of recommended that if you have a niche, that's what you focus on. And if we were just starting out, maybe that's where we would concentrate and not do it this way. But because we had all of that history and all of that extra stuff that came along with who we are and where we've been, we wanted to keep it that way. And that's the way it's gone.
Okay, about you. We have a little poll here. I just want to know who has YouTube channel, and
Did it go?
Oh, okay. No. This is just our view of it. Sorry. You should be seeing a poll now. And I want to know if you have a YouTube channel with 10,000 or more subscribers, if you have a YouTube channel, but you don't have 10,000, if you're thinking about having a YouTube channel, or if you just can't imagine why you would ever want to have a YouTube channel. And we'll just see who we're talking to here.
Okay.
Looks like we do have one person with a YouTube channel of 10,000 or more. You might want to, whoever that is, if you want to put the YouTube channel link in the chat, I think that would be great.
That would be cool.
And the majority of people are thinking about having a YouTube channel, but there are several who have a YouTube channel with not as many subscribers.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Good to know. So, and okay, we do have a couple people says, I can't imagine why I would ever want to have a YouTube channel. That's honesty. And no problem. It's work, I mean, if you want to do it, you should keep it up. Although, just to throw it, I'm an expert in Google Photos, right? Google Photos can store my photos and videos, but you pay for storage. Videos are huge, and Google Photos is not the best video player. YouTube can store hours worth of videos for free. So if you ever think about taking videos of a personal event, think about having a YouTube channel. All right, but putting videos up there is different from live streaming. So why do we live stream?
Well, we like live audiences. That's one thing that we like it for, but it's a deadline. It means that we have to get something done. There's a sense of urgency and people want to be there. We send emails from our wonderful email list and it builds followers. And yeah, she needs some stress.
No, the stress is on. He's the one that arranges the screens and makes it all happen. So he gets
and
stressed.
Fights with the echo when it happens. That's a tough one.
I create the content. That's a really nice thing too, that we have this team. I am just blown away that people can do all of this themselves, managing the live stream and coming up with the content. Anyway, live streaming, it's like having your own television station with a worldwide potential audience.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Imagine 30 years ago, somebody telling you that you could have your own TV station that people all over the world could watch.
Impossible.
It's and for free.
Yeah.
And if you get good at it,
they'll even pay you something. And that's great. But another thing is our live streams are about an hour long. And I can repurpose some of that information into smaller pieces. I can edit it down using my Filmora editing program, and I can make repurposed videos that we can then publish on YouTube as separate videos, and they can get some traction and make some money. So it's a win-win.
And an email list. I don't hear very many YouTubers talking about an email list, but we started our online business before there was YouTube. And if you don't have an email list, you don't have a business. Those are your potential customers and then real customers. So build an email list and then send out emails every time you have a new video for them to watch. That's how you build a following. Okay. So what kind of equipment do you need for doing live streaming?
You need it all. Hi, I'm Jim from Geeks on Tour, and this is my studio. Hey, Google, turn on studio.
All right, turning on 15 things.
Okay, I have a lot of stuff going on here, right? So let's start over here. I have a wide angle camera that points down. When we do our show, Chris sits beside me here. She has a computer and she takes care of all of her business in front of this one monitor here. Okay, I have this big wide screen monitor. I have an iPad up top here that's pointed at my teleprompter. So I can control my teleprompter with the mouse or with a pedal I have on the floor. Behind that teleprompter is my main camera, so I can always be looking directly into that main camera. I have 3 monitors. I use a MacBook Pro. It's an M2 MacBook Pro. It has a nice camera and everything on it, but I only use that camera when I'm remote. Here in the studio, everything is connected together. Do you know about a Stream Deck? A Stream Deck will replace a lot of keys, so I can have my Ecamm Studio running up here and push buttons and change my scenes on all that stuff. So I can bring Chris in, I can make noises. Microphone is here. It has a pop filter. It's a special field microphone, and it has 2 capsules pointed, one to Chris and one at me. So it works out great. She can sit here. We have 1 microphone input for the sound that goes out to the Zoom or goes out to our stream. Okay, well, that's my studio. I have lights, I have cameras, and all the action happens right here.
And did you notice the green wall and even the green pillowcase covering the back of his chair? Nothing you see behind us is real. But do you need all that equipment? No. The phone in your pocket will create videos. The phone in your pocket will upload videos to YouTube. The phone in your pocket will even live stream. All you need is a Google account and a YouTube channel. And I want to demonstrate this. So what you're looking at here is my phone, my Samsung S21 Ultra. And all you need is the YouTube app. So the same app that you use to just play videos on your phone, open it up and notice the plus down in the bottom center. I tap the plus. Now I have the choice to just pick a video, record a short, those are the vertical less than 1 minute, or go live. So I just go to live. I tap on next. Oops, wait, before that, I want to flip and make sure it's going out the back, the rear lens. All right, now next. And this will be made public and not made for kids. That's something that YouTube has to be very concerned about. Now, as soon as I tap on go live, a notification will be sent out to everybody. And so we might get some people viewing from out there. Our subscribers, they will be getting a notification that we're going live. So I just tap go live. And now I think you should see more about this Stream Deck Jim has. All he has to do, so can you see up there is the results. Here is where he's pushing buttons. All he has to do is push a button and it shows the two of us in what's called the green room. He pushed another button that he uses Toastmasters. You should recognize the timer screen. Or how about just me and, oh, he has these things all programmed in. All he has to do is push a button on his Stream Deck to show them. And okay, when I'm done, I don't want this to be real. I just tap the X. And are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay. So if you happened to get the notification that Geeks on Tour was going live, you could have gone to the channel and watched that live. Now that I have stopped the live, it becomes a recorded replay video. And we'll show you that in a minute. It takes a minute to process, so I'm gonna wait.
The shorter video, the shorter it takes to process.
Right. Well, let's go look. So I'm going to go to our YouTube channel and see if it's there. Now that was less. We're going to see if it shows up under live. Yep, there it is. No views, but streamed 57 seconds ago. Stream Deck Jim has. All he has to do, so can you see up there is the results. Here is where he's pushing buttons. All he has to do is push a button and it shows the two of us in what's called the green room. So you get the idea? The phone in your pocket can go live to a potential worldwide audience. And as soon as you're done, it's a video on your YouTube channel. All for free. And if you get good at it, they might pay you. So what do you need? Well, all you really need is a Google account. chrisguld@gmail.com. If you have a Gmail address, you have a Google account. You might even have a Google account with a non-Gmail address, but it's good to have one with a Gmail address. There's just one more step. When you go to YouTube and you are logged into your Google account, you will see a plus in the upper right-hand corner. You click that plus in order to upload a video to your channel. The very first time you do that, it will ask you to click the button that says Create Channel. You create channel, you give it a name. You know, the name can be something different than your name, but usually you would just leave it at your name and you're done. You now have a YouTube channel and you can start uploading videos. A brand account. So personal account, I have mine, Chris Guld, Jim has his, Jim Guld. Then we created a brand account by opening our personal YouTube channel, clicking the account button, choosing settings, and create new channel. And whoever did that can assign the other one to be a manager. So two of us can upload videos, can write comments, can change titles, etc., of a brand account. So you have a YouTube channel, you know how to go live and or upload videos from your computer. So how do you grow it? You can find whole books written about this. We just say it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. You make lots of good videos and you get people to watch them. That's how you grow a channel. So how we make our videos, I do tutorial, how to phone and computer type tutorial videos, and I use Camtasia for that. I know that a lot of you know about Camtasia. And Jim?
I repurpose pieces of our big live streams using some editing software called Filmora. And then I just upload them, and YouTube sees them and puts them out there for other people to see. And hopefully, because she's so good at what she does, people want to see these videos because you learn from the way Chris teaches.
And I know a lot of you are thinking, what topics could I use? So for us, the topic was never a question. You know, we teach technology, so that's what we're going to
It's
do.
changed over the years. We used to teach computers. Now we still teach computers, but they're a lot smaller. They fit in your pocket and they take great pictures.
Yeah, so we're mostly about photography now. But anything, whatever you have a passion for, whatever you have skills at. Okay. Next topic is create. So how do you get people to watch? We think mailing lists is a big part of it, building a community that likes learning and subscribing from you. But for people just browsing, you better have a good thumbnail. And we have a video here.
We're not going to play that. We don't have enough time.
How much time do we have?
We're almost at it. So, but check this video, 801. Go to geeksontour.com/801. You can watch this video on creating thumbnails with Canva that Chris made just recently.
I'm tempted to let you let you show the video because I know it didn't work when we tried to do it at the other club, at Club Awesome. So go ahead.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Hi,
take
this
the
is
time.
Geeks on Tour, and in this video, I want to show you how to make a thumbnail for YouTube videos. Now, this is for complete beginners, so I'm going to start with what is a thumbnail. Then I'm going to use Canva, a free tool, to make it that is very easy. Let me show you how. To explain what a thumbnail is, I'm taking you here to the Geeks on Tour YouTube channel. And it's these images that are the cover pages, if you will, to the videos. But for the rest of this tutorial, I'm going to use my imaginary friend Alice, her YouTube channel, because she's brand new. She only has one, and it is of this waterfall. What she needs is an image to go over it that looks good. It needs to be the right size and it needs to look good. Canva is a wonderful tool for that. Canva.com. It's completely web-based and you can sign up for free. And I recommend that you just continue with Google. You don't need to make a new username and password just for Canva. At least that's what Alice did. So here's what Canva looks like after Alice signing in. You can make any kind of image using Canva. So you got to get good at search. We want to do a YouTube thumbnail and we want a template because we're going to make our own, and I press enter to see all the YouTube thumbnail templates. Now, her video is about waterfalls, and she's going to make a series of waterfalls. So I want to find a template that appeals to me regarding nature and waterfalls. How about this one? Now, it says how to practice meditation, but we're going to change that. We're going to customize this template. One thing I want you to notice, since it is strictly web-based, every time you do something in Canva, it opens up a new tab up here. So that's how it works. You don't go back to the home. Here are the different things where I have just been. This is the template that we are working on. And first of all, I'm going to change the name. So Alice's Waterfalls. Okay. And I'm going to change these words. So I like the text fine. It just needs to say something different. So I just selected those words and I typed over them. Where to find and waterfalls. Okay, so far so good. Now I need this main image to be of a waterfall. Well, Canva has all sorts of images. You click on elements. We have recently used lines and shapes. I want a photo. So I click on see all, and then I search for waterfall and press enter. There's a bunch of them. Notice these little crowns. That you can only use that if you are paying for the pro version. But I see this one doesn't have a crown, so I'll just drag that over. And notice how it will snap in there and replace the existing one if you position it just right. So far, so good. But now I need to have something identifying Alice as the owner of this. So I want to put her face in a circle down here. To put a photo in a circle, that's called a frame. So I go back to elements and frames and see all sorts of different shapes of frames. I just want a simple circle. You drag that over, and now I want to put her face in there. Well, I don't have a picture of Alice, so I'm going to just find a woman's face in the photos. I'll search for woman. And once again, you can't use the ones with the crown. Let's use this woman here. And when you put her into the circle, notice how it is framed within that circle. And I want it to be a little smaller. Now I want some text. So that's this button over here. And all sorts of different kinds of text. Once again, stay away from the crowns unless you're going to start paying. And yeah, I kind of like this one. So I just clicked on it and it put it in my image. Now I have to size it. I want it to be under her. And I'll double click to select good and type in Alice's. And this is Alice's adventures. Uh-oh, it didn't fit. And this is a group. So when I resize it, it doesn't change the frame size. What I have to do is ungroup so that adventures is separate from Alice's. Now I can click on adventures and I can change the width so that adventures fits, put it wherever I want. I like it. So this is a thumbnail for YouTube video. It is perfectly sized. It looks great. I need to download this. Click on share and download. And it suggests a PNG, but you do have other choices. I'm more comfortable with just JPEG, so I'm going to change it there and download. The way Alice's browser is set up, that has been automatically downloaded to her downloads folder. So now we go back to YouTube so that we can upload that thumbnail. Here is YouTube. I have to go into the YouTube studio and content to see that video, edit all the details of that video. So here are the places for thumbnails. I could choose one of the images from the video for thumbnails, or now upload thumbnail, find the folder it's in, Alice's Waterfalls. There we go. Save. Now, if you look at her channel, you see that thumbnail.
All right. Well,
Making money.
do you have something? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
making money. A
there's-
lot of people have expressed an interest in making money, so let's
Right,
make sure
right.
we cover that.
So well, we've talked about how you need to build your channel in order to make money, but there is still a requirement for you. You must be a YouTube partner in order to share in the revenue of the advertising. There are two levels. level 1 and level 2. Level 1, you can only earn from your fans. So if you are a level 1, somebody can leave you a super chat, they can give you money on your video. You need to be a level 2 in order to share in the advertising revenue. And to do that, you must have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours over the last year. And then the final, and all sorts of places to learn more. These are the folks that we have learned a lot from on our journey. And yeah.
Questions?
Were there any questions? I didn't see any.
No, I didn't.
Well, let me get in a couple of things. For a long time, what I always worked with was just you upload the video, and YouTube gives you 3 suggested thumbnails you could use. And so if it was somebody speaking, I would try and choose the one where they weren't making a funny face, and I left it at that. But what you're really talking about is that this needs to be an advertisement. We need to think of this in marketing terms, I think, right?
Right.
And we talked a little bit about the YouTube monetization program. Have you been approached about sponsorships, or have you done anything with taking money directly from the creator of a product or service?
We have, but we do not. I just
You
don't want to go
solicit
there.
them. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we get solicitations all the time.
Okay. So the YouTube speaker, not the WordPress speaker I mentioned, he got the major corporate backer of YouTube to sponsor him. And so he's doing quite well with that, as well as some others.
Oh yeah, sponsorships can really.
Our friends that are sailing around the world have several products that they use and they promote, and I'm sure they're doing quite well with that. Yes.
One of the links that I posted in the chat was from Pat Flynn, who is a guru. He has a business called Smart Passive Income. He wants you to take his course, but the video that he shared about how to have a more successful YouTube channel is also worth checking out.
Okay, well, we have some questions for you. Okay. Did you learn something? I think you probably did. So, true or false? Only businesses can have a YouTube channel.
False. Anybody with a Google account.
To have a YouTube channel that can be managed by multiple people, you need A, a paid account, B, super chat, C, a brand account, D, supervisor channel.
Brand account.
Brand account. Very good.
You can go live on YouTube with nothing but your phone. And what app? A, YouTube, B, YouTube Live, C, Camera, or D, Canva?
Hey, YouTube.
Hey,
Just
YouTube.
plain old YouTube.
And you can have one. True or false, when a live stream concludes, it can become a saved replay video.
Sure.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's how we do ours. Some people just let it record and then they use it to edit. Some people record locally and edit that one and upload it again. We just leave our live streams up there, and then I repurpose pieces that I've recorded locally. So to earn money, you must be A, a brand account, B, a YouTube partner, or C, a super video.
YouTube partner.
YouTube partner.
That's
yes.
big. Yeah,
Hey.
you have to be a YouTube partner. So you can review these slides and videos at geeksontour.com/classes. And we've done another presentation to Club Awesome. That's up there as well. But you need to be a Geeks on Tour premium member to see that one. So go to classes, geeksontour.com, scroll down, all the classes are there. This one will be up there and free to view for a couple of weeks, and then it'll be private for our our premium members.
Look at
I'm
YouTube
reser-
monetizing. We do have some questions that came through in the chat. We have, how do I add music to my thumbnail? I don't think you have music in thumbnails per se, right?
No.
Do you get, I think there's some way in YouTube Studio of searching for music that you can add, or
In
do
YouTube Studio, there is a place where you can get music. It's called Creator Music. And they used to have just a regular library of music. Now they have this Creator Music. It's in beta, but you can actually purchase music to use. You're paying the royalty, basically, but you can use
Shall I
it.
show it?
Yeah, we can.
If you just go into your channel and Studio, so I'm in YouTube Studio, and down at the bottom of the left-hand menu, Creator Music. And it'll tell you whether there are free.
There are free.
Yeah, there are free. There we go. If I just click on free, now we will just be seeing the free. And that was available right on the phone, actually, in the YouTube where I chose go live. If instead I had chose just taken a video, I could have edited it and added music right on the phone.
Amazing.
Hans says YouTube has always allowed me to use copyrighted music, but I've received conflicting info about whether they allow monetization with such videos.
You cannot monetize videos that use copyrighted material unless you have the copyright for it. And there's a big issue with that on YouTube, because people who don't really own the music will make a claim that they own the music, and that can mess people up. So a lot of people have just given up on music completely, or gone to these pay-for ones where you can absolutely say, I own the rights to play this music.
Okay. Somebody asked, can we monetize YouTube for Toastmasters, a nonprofit organization? I don't see why not.
Don't know.
No.
I don't see why not.
I think there'd be anything stopping you.
Other nonprofit organizations make money. Absolutely. I don't see why not, but I've not investigated that or checked into that.
We had some questions about how long it takes to create video, which
it depends. That's my answer to almost everything. It takes, I think, for a good minute of video, a 5-minute video will probably take about 5 hours.
Yeah, I looked at all the videos that I've done, and I came up with an hour per minute, which is another reason why I really like the live. I say, hey,
you do it, it's
whatever I got
over,
done in the hour.
and some of it might have been
And then I
good.
can
You
just
capture that, right?
that and edit it down. I can chop it up. I can take all the ums and the ers and yahs and the you knows out, and have a really nice clean. I can put an intro and an outro to it. I can put I do all the fancy stuff, and that's kind of what you learn as you go through, is some of the fancier things that make a video. Watch videos.
I think
What
that
do you like?
the questions are coming in maybe a little bit too fast for us to get to all of them, but we'll relay some of them. Maybe you can follow up with some folks afterwards. Let's see. Somebody asked, if you're just starting out, how often should you release videos?
Oh, that's a good question. We try and get out at least a couple videos a week. New videos, new releases, and we'll do a live every other week. But we have this business that we have with Geeks on Tour, where we also do some Google Photos things, and that's sort of separate, but it all goes together into the one place. So it's recorded, and I'll repurpose those videos. So I've done as many as 7 in a week. So maybe 1 a day, but you don't need to do that many. If it's good content and you have a community that wants to see this stuff, you can release one video a month and still create a channel.
Okay.
Well, to be a YouTube partner, you must upload at least one a month.
Okay.
Okay.
And to be a good YouTube partner, you have to have 4,000 watch hours per year.
There
So
were a
that
couple
was
of questions about Camtasia. Somebody just posted, what is your edit program again? And I know you mentioned two of them, but somebody was asking about what Camtasia is good for.
Well, Camtasia is kind of the gold standard, I think. And it started out just as a way to record a computer screen and then edit it. But it can do any kind of video editing. But Jim, that's what I use, Camtasia.
I use a program called Filmora by Wondershare. I found out about it years ago. I started out with a free version, and then I've upgraded and put it together. So Filmora by Wondershare is what I use for all of my video editing.
And there are a ton of video editing programs out there, including some free open
Resolve.
source things that are interesting. Camtasia is particularly for people who are doing software tutorials, software documentation, where you can record your steps at doing something, but it can also be used as just a general video editor. Whereas if you were, a lot of video professionals share by things like Final Cut Pro, which is that an Apple product, or I guess it's mostly for
it is, but it works on both.
Yeah.
And Resolve, DaVinci Resolve is another one. So if you know one, even Clipchamp can make good videos. Canva can make videos.
Yep.
Learn one, and as long as it meets your needs, it's probably fine. If it doesn't meet your needs, then you start looking for something a little bit more sophisticated, maybe.
Yeah. I promised Andy Byrne, because I crowded him out of doing table topics at a previous meeting. I promised that we would have a few minutes for our members to actually do something other than just listen to this program.
Just one more question there that I have a slide for.
Okay.
So
all right.
It says so if you've started making about $1,000 per month, what do you need in views? Well, here we go. Last 30 days, we had 139,000 views and 19 videos in 30 days. So on this slide is on that. And here's a friend of mine's channel that has not quite as many subscribers, but a lot less money. And I think it's because it's a lot less views. He had 20,000 views in the last 30 days. So that slide is part of the slides that you can see on your own if you want. Okay.
And it's actually not necessarily the subscribers that make you money. It's the number of people viewing in things that have advertising. And you have to volunteer to be in the advertising program, right? They actually don't run ads against your videos.
No,
that's changed.
They can do it on their own volition.
Oh, they can as well?
And but they won't give it to you unless you ask for it.
Right.
They won't give you a share unless you ask.
So.
Another thing that a lot of people do is affiliate programs, and that's a whole nother area.
Or selling products. You can sell products in there, or you can have a membership on YouTube. Yeah, there's so many ways now.
Right.
Okay.
That's
how we do it.
That's our story.
There are some legalities about making sure you disclose that.
Okay.
We have like 10 minutes left to do a few table topics, maybe to involve, maybe be on some of the themes of the day. I don't think we'll have time to either vote, or we may not have time for a general evaluators roundup, or it's going to have to be super brief. But Dr. Andy Byrne, would you like to lead us through some table topics?
Sure. We just passed June 21st, which is the summer solstice, the beginning of summer. And the question is this is the question. How are you planning on spending your summer? Are you traveling? Are you doing it locally? Are you staying at home? What are your plans for the summer? Jim Barber.
What are my plans for the summer? Well, like a lot of the rest of the nation, they're having a heat wave. We have a heat wave here in Florida that lasts about 7 months long. So my plans for the summer largely are to stay inside where it's cool and enjoy things. I do love to get outside and enjoy nature and get outside, but I do that in the winter time for Florida when the temperatures are pleasant and it's nice. So how I'm going to enjoy the summer, I'm going to enjoy the summer being inside, working on my computer, possibly developing my YouTube channel, doing all kinds of other things associated with my computer, but I'm going to be doing it inside because I am not interested in getting outside where it is so incredibly hot. That's just does not interest me at all. And that's going to be my summer. Ask me again what I'm going to be doing in winter, and that's a different story. Back to you, Mr. Topics Master.
All right. If you listen to the news, two things occurred yesterday, one of which was a professional surfer in Hawaii was killed by a shark. Graham, you have lots of sharks around where you are in Australia. Between the 1975 release of Jaws and yesterday's news, has that tempered your enthusiasm for going into the ocean?
Mr. Topics Master, Peter Benchley, the man who wrote the book Jaws, upon which the movie was based, spent much of the remainder of his life apologizing for the fear that he created with that book. He wrote Jaws because it was a great story. He didn't realize that that great story would turn into a frenzy by idiots who went out and started to destroy one of nature's greatest creatures. The number of people who are killed by sharks here in Australia, in South Africa, off the coasts of North and South America are minuscule compared to the number of people who die when they're stung by bees. And yet we don't go out and try and kill every bee that we can. Yes, I will admit, having seen Jaws and then going to an island in the middle of our local harbour the following day was probably not the best way to make me feel like I should go swimming. But I've got to say, sharks are an amazing creature. They are such a wonder. And it genuinely disturbs me to see no-brain people going out there and slaughtering sharks just because they can. And as I say, Peter Benchley spent the rest of his life apologizing for what he had done to sharks. I think we should all apologize and consider them to be the wonders that they are. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Graham. Of course, you haven't seen any megalotrons from the movie Meg, right? Floating around in Australia. One of the things that happened during the summertime is people take hiking trips. Of course, if you watch the news, that is not always advisable because if you get lost or if you don't have yourself properly equipped, you can get into serious danger. Michael, you're in that western part of the country where people like to take hikes. What are your recommendations to people that want to get into hiking during this weather?
In this weather?
Yep.
My recommendation is that they rethink. It is in the upper 90s today. And this is in an area which, when I moved here 25 years ago, the temperature got into the 90s just barely 3 days out of the year. So now, if you want to go hiking in weather like this, my recommendation is go to the beach, don't fear the sharks, get nice and wet, and avoid the heat altogether. But when you talk about dangers, and I'm just going to give a general notice, do you realize that more accidents happen in and around the home than outside? So if you want to be safe, go to where the sharks are, because they're probably not in your house, and you're better off there. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. We
While we're
have
there,
do we have any more time, David, or we used it all up?
I think we should probably stop there. I know there were at least a couple of people on our RSVP list who actually weren't experienced Toastmasters, but wanted to come to this specific event. So we should have explained there that the table topics is something that we do in our meetings on a regular basis, just to give people practice at impromptu speaking, practicing at something that they didn't have a chance to prepare for, which is kind of more the situation that we get in the business world. Johnny Renee Laidlaw, I asked you to sign up to be our general evaluator and our overall wrap up everything evaluator today. Can you give us a little bit of your feedback on how this program went? Johnny, are you there? All right, Johnny might be tied up.
I think she wrote she lost her internet connection.
Oh, okay. Well, that will do it. And actually, we're fortunate because Jim and Chris Guld actually came to my local South Florida club to give this presentation, and in the room we wound up broadcasting from a mobile phone hotspot because the internet to the building was out. So that was one of the technology adventures that you don't really want to have. Let's see. I know there were questions that we didn't get to in the chat, but let me just ask any of the guests to unmute, give us feedback on the session, and we'll let you know how you can follow up to maybe get questions to answers to questions that you didn't get a chance to ask. Anybody, raise your hand, unmute.
Hi, my name is Dee Marie, and I thoroughly enjoyed the presentation. I will be working with the public relations section of my Toastmasters district office for the upcoming fiscal year with the podcast section of that public relations arm. And I needed to learn everything that I could, and it was very informative. And to see it presented by someone other than Geeks was refreshing. Thank you so much.
Well, they are geeks, but they are geeks who know how to speak English, which is perhaps the best kind.
Toastmaster geeks.
Yes. Anybody else?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Anybody else have some feedback for us? I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself today.
You mentioned podcasts, and it's interesting. Podcasts can be video now, and YouTube actually has a menu item called podcast. So because we do a regular Sunday show, it's called a podcast.
So we're going to be doing just that. We'll be doing just that. Thank you so much.
Right. Another feature I didn't know was in there until recently is you can actually post questions to your community. It's almost more like a Twitter thing that's built into there. So there are posts that you can put out. And I came across that with that April Lynn Alter, who was the very sort of over-prepared, very studious, grade A student, trying to figure out how to master YouTube. She was putting out posts in between while she's working on videos, letting people know what she's working on, what's coming. And she's somebody who actually, people talked about how long does it take? She apparently takes months. So you can take as long as you want, or you can click go live and create video that way. And both can be great. But you have to learn how to use them strategically, and you might have to think about some of those marketing aspects too.
I see a hand.
Carol Lee. It's actually that's my mouse pointer hovering over your face, Carol Lee. Todd actually wanted to ask a question.
I just wanted to say that I found your presentation very informative and very filling in the blanks. When you know a little bit, but you don't know how to connect the dots. You guys connected the dots pretty well. And I just wanted to mention kudos to that. And it was great to see the behind the scenes and then what happens in the foreground so that people understand it just doesn't happen like that. I also wanted to say that there's a podcast Pioneer Toastmasters Club in District 46 that has a lot of fun on Sunday afternoons. And my home district of District 61, one of my mentees, Patty Pat, she has a podcast where she's done her journey through Toastmasters, and she's actually created a hour-long workshop where she takes apart each piece and how to do the thumbnails and all the other stuff. And I thought it's great that we have all of this knowledge, but I find that we don't share it enough with each other so that we can all grow as a club. I think of that term of, rising waters lifts all ships. And I think this is great because level 4 projects, level 5 projects now have us to do these things. And we should get this couple to like a convention sometime soon or something.
Cool.
Thanks for having me. Have fun.
All right. Anybody else have something that they would like to give us feedback? How about Jesse?
What's the process as far as onboarding new members
for this club?
Yeah.
Actually, do you have Toastmasters experience previously, or are you just learning about it now?
I've been a part of Toastmasters before.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you go to our website, there is a page called Join that should give you the information that you need. I mean, the dues are not that high because we charge just a little bit above what we have to pay to Toastmasters International. We actually ask you to come to a couple of meetings as a guest. As long as you have a certain minimum amount of Toastmasters experience, you're welcome. We'll just vote you in and get you signed up. Sometimes people come to us who actually have a lot of experience. They might be teaching online. They have other experience outside of Toastmasters. And so we have a way that people can kind of test into the group. Even if they don't meet our, advanced club hoity-toity ideals, they come to us, they give a short speech about why they'd like to become a member, and we can vote them in. In fact, we usually do, as a matter of fact. So,
David, it's Marianne. I just posted the link to the webpage, Jesse. So if you wanted to join, you can go there and find the tab that says join, and it'll give you all the details.
Okay.
A couple of people mentioned being in hybrid clubs. We're at my other club, Club Awesome. I have to give a shout out to a workshop we're doing on Friday morning. That's Friday morning, US East Coast time, Florida time, on better hybrid meetings for work and play. So trying to make the connection between what we do in Toastmasters, but also it's a complicated thing for businesses too, if they try and have a meeting with some people in person and others remote. So we're going to try and share some best practices for that. Would love to see you there.
And just to add, we do give good tips, like the fact that if you're like me and you have audio through one and video through the other, you can actually get co-host and spotlight. That helps whenever you have your camera on your phone. And if you have a phone, Todd, I saw you do it when we gave the tip. I'm going to ask you to demonstrate since you spoke. If you're on your mobile device, if you notice, Todd is just a little rectangular box. If you put on autocorrect, you will flip.
Trying to read this play because he thinks it might be cycled back down the wall. He leaves in front of the net.
And look at that difference.
Interesting. And then that's the first goal of the game. I hope the court needed this goal. They needed
Okay. Very cool. Well, we're at time. We'll stop the recording. But if anybody would